If your Facebook ads are getting clicks but not sales, or they work for a week and then crash, you don't need a new hack. You need a 2026 system Meta actually rewards. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact framework to run profitable Facebook ads, whether you're spending $10 a day or $1,000 a day. And we're covering the 4 things that determine success now: offer, research, targeting, and data. And in case you don't know, I'm Brandy with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. If you're interested in seeing what allowing us to handle your marketing for you would look like, you can schedule a free no-pressure call and get a custom marketing proposal and quote for your specific business using the link below. Otherwise, let's talk about how to build Facebook ads the right way. The first thing you want to do is stop running ads until your offer is irresistible. This is where most small businesses lose money. They run ads with an okay offer and hope that their creative will save it. It won't. A strong offer makes everything cheaper. Lower CPMs, or cost per 1,000 impressions, higher CTR or click-through rate, better conversion rates, and faster learning on Meta's part, because Meta, or Facebook's algorithm, is trying to match your message with the right person. If your offer is unclear or weak, Facebook has nothing strong to optimize around. So this begs the question, what does a strong offer look like? Well, here's the 2026 offer rule. It has to solve one urgent problem. It has to lead with outcomes, not features, and it has to give a clear reason to choose you over your competitors. So an example for a service business: instead of "we do bookkeeping," try "get your books cleaned up in 7 days so you stop stressing at tax time." For an e-commerce example, instead of "organic skincare," try "clear breakouts without harsh ingredients in 14 days or we'll make it right." Before you spend a single dollar on ads, your offer should pass this test. Would a stranger instantly understand who it's for, what it does, and why it's better? If not, pause ads and fix that first. Next, you're going to give yourself a head start and use the Meta Ad Library to steal what works legally. Open the free Meta Ad Library and search 3 to 5 competitors in your space. What you're looking for is simple: ads that have been running a long time, because companies don't keep spending money on ads that lose money. Now, when you're studying these ads, do not copy them word for word. You're not here to plagiarize. You're here to reverse engineer the structure. What's the hook? What pain point are they calling out? What promise are they making? What proof do they show? What's their CTA or call to action? Jot all of this down and then you remix the best parts. Think of it like this: competitors paid thousands to find what grabs attention. You're using that as a shortcut so that you can get the same outcome without spending the same budget. They tested all the duds for you. Once you've got your initial ad research nailed down, we need to talk about targeting. And this is important because this is where most people still run Facebook ads like it's 2018. They stack 20 interests, they layer behaviors on top of behaviors, and they over-engineer it. But in 2026, Meta is smart enough to read your ad copy, your creative, your landing page URL, and millions of behavioral signals it has on its users. So when you over-restrict targeting, you don't help Meta, you block Meta from finding the right buyers for you. For most small businesses, you only need 2 audiences. Audience number 1 is your cold audience. This one is for prospecting. This is going to be a group of people who've never heard of you before. For audience 1, you want to pick one of these. Option A is a broad audience. As the name implies, you want to keep your audience size broad. If you add anything, add only 1 to 3 demographics max, like location, age range, and maybe gender if it's truly relevant. Otherwise, let your creative and offer do the targeting. And option B is a lookalike audience. If you have enough data, like 1,000 customers or clients, you can create a lookalike audience out of that list, where Facebook finds brand new people who look like the source list, which in this case would be your customers. Broad is often the simplest and works shockingly well now, especially when your offer is clear. But if you have 1,000 or more customers, not email subscribers, specifically customers, then try switching from broad to lookalike for your cold audience. Audience number 2 is your warm audience, also called your retargeting audience. This is for people who have already interacted with you. So like your website visitors, video viewers, engagers, add to carts, initiated checkouts, your email list, and so on. These people don't need to be convinced you exist or that you can help. They already know that, and now they just need the final push, like proof, clarity, and a reason to act now. If you only do these 2 audiences correctly, you'll already be ahead of most advertisers. So now you've got your 2 audiences, let's talk about how to make creatives that keep working so that you don't burn out. Meta specifically punishes stale creatives. It's real. When people see the same ad too many times, performance drops and costs rise, and Facebook knows that. So you need a repeatable creative system that keeps your creatives fresh while still giving you time to do everything you need to do in a day. Use this simple formula: hook, value, CTA, or call to action. Create a hook that is curiosity provoking enough to stop someone mid-scroll, usually by directly addressing a goal they care about or a pain point they're tired of dealing with. Then provide real value that helps them right now to get closer to that goal or to get rid of that pain point. The key here being real value and not fluffy free stuff that no one wants. And then you want a clear CTA that points to your one clear offer. So instead of making one ad and just hoping it works, you film variations. So like 3 to 5 hooks, 2 to 3 value bodies, and you can then rotate or remix against your one CTA weekly. And when you're filming, you don't need to overproduce everything. Native looking content often outperforms polished content, so just film what works right now, like selfie style videos, UGC or user generated content style testimonials, quick demos, behind the scenes, or simple graphics that hit emotion and clarity. An e-commerce example could be a quick unboxing, result, and review, and a service example could be here's what we fixed and a client outcome in the next step. So take what you learned from your competitor ad research and remix it to fit this formula and the goals and emotions and desires and pain points that your specific audience has. Now, the last thing we got to talk about is tracking and data, because this is why ads randomly stop working. If you skip this, you're training Facebook blind. And you might be thinking, training Facebook? What are you talking about? We'll get to that in just a second. But for now, what you need is the Metapixel and the Conversions API installed. The Metapixel tracks browser activity, but with iOS and privacy changes, the Metapixel alone misses a lot. So the Conversions API adds server-side tracking so that Meta can still understand what's converting on your website. So you'll want to make sure both of those are set up and installed correctly. And we do have videos going over that in depth, but I would also add that Facebook also walks you through step-by-step with prompts. So whichever way is easiest for you, but you need to get that done. And then there's the concept most small businesses never hear about: pixel conditioning. Facebook's algorithm is a pattern recognition machine. When it sees real conversions, purchases, booked calls, qualified leads, it hunts for more people like that. But if your tracking is missing conversions or you're optimizing for the wrong thing, you're feeding it bad signals. That's how you end up with traffic that doesn't buy, leads that don't answer, and a good CTR but no revenue. High converting Facebook campaigns are not about tricks. They're about feeding Facebook clean data so that it can optimize harder and faster. And you can do that, A, if you have the Pixel and Conversions API set up that we just talked about, and B, if you set up your campaign in a way that tells Facebook what conversions you really care about. If you're running a traffic campaign when you want conversions, that's not good. Facebook won't know you want conversions because it's optimizing for traffic. If you want more booked appointments, then you'll need to create a custom conversion event based on the thank you page people land on after booking appointments. Tell Facebook exactly what you want so that it can find more people who look like the people who've already completed that event. Now, I know that was a lot, so here's a quick recap. If you remember nothing else, remember this order. Offer first, make it irresistible. Research second, meta ad library remix. 2 audiences, broad or lookalike for cold and warm retargeting. Create a system, hook, value, and CTA variations and native content. And tracking and conditioning, Pixel, Conversions API, and correct conversion event. Do this and you stop guessing, you stop wasting money, and you start scaling what works.